This is the Insta360 Explorer grip bundle, and this is the cinematic lens attachment. And today we'll be talking about this because some people say it's anamorphic, but it's not really an anamorphic lens, it is a cinematic lens. So let's check it out. So when you put on the cinematic lens, you can go into the menu and tell the camera that you're actually using the cinema lens. And this will allow you to have iLog enabled. Now, iLog is a flat picture profile which gives you more dynamic range. And right instantly, you see that the aspect ratio has changed. And if you go here, you have now the aspect ratio 2.35/1. And you cannot change it in this cinematic lens mode. You also cannot choose the 8K because you have iLog turned on, and iLog only works in 4K. Now, of course, you can turn iLog off and then choose the 8K resolution and still keep that aspect ratio. Anamorphic lenses have two special features. The first one is that they squeeze the video onto the sensor. What does that mean? So if you have a 4x3 sensor like over here, an anamorphic lens would capture a really wider field of view and then squeeze it onto that 4x3 aspect ratio. And then in post-production, you have to de-squeeze it. This way you get that really cinematic and wide field of view look. And the second thing that anamorphic lenses also do as a side effect is that you get those anamorphic flares that, streak across the frame. This is synonymous for anamorphic lenses, and this lens does that. But the whole squeezing thing, the squeeze factor is, well, barely noticeable. So you see, the whole wide aspect ratio comes from the internal setting. Actually, if you choose the cinematic lens option, then that's the only setting that you can have, that 2.35/1. And it is not a de-squeezed image, it's basically just a 4x3 image cropped to that aspect ratio. So in that regard, it's not an anamorphic lens because you're not using the whole sensor, you're just cropping it in as if it were an anamorphic de-squeezed image. And we have to be fair, Insta does market this as a cinematic lens, not as an anamorphic lens. It's just that the shape confuses a lot of people, that it looks like an anamorphic lens, therefore it's an anamorphic lens. Now, the build quality of the cinematic lens is as good as it gets, and you can use the lens housing to actually, use it as a lens cover so that you don't damage it. So this is what a vlogging situation would look like with this cinematic lens. I think that the wide aspect ratio really gives you a lot of headroom to show over here. I mean, I'm still not in focus if I get really close to the camera because the lens doesn't actually help with close focusing. There's a separate lens for that. I'll be making a video for that lens separately. But yeah, this is how a cinematic vlog would look like. I mean, wide aspect ratio. And there you have it, the explanation why the cinematic lens from Insta360 is not an anamorphic lens, it's just trying to mimic one. So is this an attachment that you should get? Well, if you want to get those anamorphic lens flares, then you must get this, and I think it's a really cool option for creating cinematic videos, even though you're not using the full sensor. So thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you learned something new, hit the like button and consider subscribing. And if you want to stay on the channel, then watch one of these two videos. Also, leave a comment down below. Thank you.